45,000 men in the US will be diagnosed with hormone sensitive prostate cancer. Here to share what men should know about this challenging to treat disease type, I have Bob Lane, prostate cancer survivor and advocate, also known as Elevator Bob, and Dr. Benjamin Lowentritt, Director of Prostate Cancer Services at United Urology Group. Good morning to both of you.
Thanks so much for having us.
Thanks, James. Good morning to you.
Good morning. So, doctor, what are some types of prostate cancer that are lesser known, and what role do hormones play in this challenging to treat condition?
Yeah, I'm really pleased to be partnered with Johnson & Johnson to talk about some specific information around this type of prostate cancer that, is thankfully the minority, but what we would consider advanced prostate cancer, patients that have cancer that's either been treated and come back, or people that we find cancer that has already spread when we find it. And they have, as you mentioned earlier, metastatic hormone-sensitive disease. Thankfully, most patients actually do have the hormone-sensitive kind because the mainstay of treatment is to use this hormone option to slow down the disease. Testosterone is the hormone that we're talking about that is really the fuel that feeds prostate cancer. So we can slow down the cancer significantly by restricting that. So we have a strategy to block production of testosterone and use treatments like Erleada to eliminate the ability of the testosterone to interact with the cancer cells and therefore make it grow. So by doing this, we're often able to slow down the cancer for years at a time.
Bob, you've had a remarkable journey surviving prostate cancer. Can you share your treatment journey?
Sure. Thanks, James. The treatment that started out by having surgery to remove my prostate in 2014, but I'm among the few, who were the cancer came back 3 years later, and for 4 years we watched it grow, and then when it got to the point where they could locate it, they took it out with radiation. And during those 4 years, we discussed treatment options. What were the treatment options going to be when we took it out with radiation? And it was pretty obvious to me that the Erleada combination was going to be the right track for me because of the success that it had shown. And so far for me, I'm plus 4 years on it. And my life is good. I don't show any symptoms. The prostate cancer is negligible. It's being managed because once it goes to a metastatic state, it's never really cured anymore. You manage it, and life is good. I'm doing well.
Speaking of that, Bob, I've heard you go by Elevator Bob. Can you tell us how that nickname came to be and about your advocacy work?
Be happy to. The head nurse at the urology office where I have a patient asked me one day, we'd known each other about 5 years at the time, and she asked me if I would be willing to speak with other prostate cancer patients, other guys who were metastatic, stage 4. And I said, sure. So we find ways, I sit out by the elevator, hence the name, and I'm the only one out there, so it's not too difficult to find me. And the patients, if they approach me, we discuss their diagnosis, my diagnosis, my treatment plan, and try to comfort them to realize that they're not alone by any stretch of the imagination. There's plenty of support out there. It's just not discussed quite as readily as like breast cancer is. But that there's hope, and I'm living proof that there's life after it. If it's caught early enough and you have the right treatment plan for the type of cancer that you have, you can still live a good long life, and the good Lord willing, something else will take you out when you're in your 80s or 90s. So it's about hope and support.
Definitely. Doctor, you've authored a number of studies of real-world evidence in prostate cancer care. What is real-world evidence? Why does it matter? And what did these studies show?
Yeah, so thank you. And real-world evidence looks at the experience with treatments like Erleada and others in the everyday medical practice community, as opposed to the very curated kind of smaller environments of a clinical study. And using this, we're able to really see what is the impact of treatments on a broad range of populations. We're able to answer questions sometimes that the clinical studies just can't answer, or just really support what those clinical trials found in a broader population. So we've been able to do this in a way that then gives both patients and doctors more confidence when they're making a choice for treatment for this disease.
So, doctor, why is it important for doctors and patients to consider real-world evidence when discussing prostate cancer treatment options?
There are a lot of different options available to people and to consider when they're getting treated, and I think the real world evidence really can reinforce where that particular patient is, and maybe give them an idea of, hey, which treatment combination may be best for them, and so that confidence is really critical, both for the patient and the doctor, to be able to make an informed and then have confidence in that decision going forward.
Bob, where can patients with cancer go for more social or emotional support?
Good question, James. The best thing to do is to build yourself a community and network from the ground up, and start with your healthcare team, the doctors, the nurses, the the physician assistants, and then include family members and include other cancer patients, other prostate cancer patients, people who are going through the similar road that you're going through, so that you can learn from each of those different groups and share information with your family, because it's a life-altering event, possibly, and it is quite emotional for a lot of people. So the more you can learn about it and how it's not necessarily the end of the road, and not probably the end of the road, it's good to be able to share that real-world information with your family and with your own mind. Come to grips with that and realize that there's good things still left in life.
Doctor, where can patients go to learn more about prostate cancer treatment options?
So I always recommend patients talk to their doctor, understand the risks and the side effects of any treatment you're considering, as well as what the goals of that treatment are. For specific questions about advanced prostate cancer treatments, you can go to erleada.com, ERLEADA.com. And really, don't be afraid to ask questions. Don't be afraid to seek out a specialist if you have questions that you want to get answered. And as Bob said, talk to your family, talk to friends that have been through this. Unfortunately, prostate cancer is very common, and so you're going to find people that have been through a similar journey. This is Prostate Cancer Awareness Month, so please talk to your doctor about getting screened, because the best way to prevent from having a real problem from prostate cancer is to catch it early when we have a lot of options available.
I've been speaking with Bob Lane and Dr. Lowentritt, and yeah, go ahead, Bob. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just saying that's very true. Get tested early.
Definitely early. Bob, doctor, thank you so much for joining us on Morning Blend. Let me say this about you too. I like what you guys are doing. Bob, you're very energetic. You're on the computer. Doctor, your research is innovative. So it's not just millennials who are out there doing startups and innovation. Hey, guys, let's not forget about us baby boomers too, all right? Thank you again, gentlemen. Have a great day.
All right, thanks, James. You too.
All right.